Well, Anna, thank you so much for agreeing to do this 15-minute franchisee interview. I know that your experience is so valuable to candidates going through the process. So, would you mind starting us off just by introducing yourself, telling us, what year you joined the Right at Home system, how many territories you have, and where you're located?
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me today. So I am Anna Lezotte. I am owner of a Right at Home in Madison, Wisconsin,
Mhm.
and I have just one territory. It's an island, so I'm the only Right at Home in my area. And I can't remember what else you needed to know.
Oh, and then when did you join the system?
Oh, and I joined the system in 2015, so
Oh,
it's been about 9 years since I
perfect.
first bought my territory.
And then before joining the Right at Home system 9 years ago, what was your background?
Previously, it was totally different. I'm a molecular biologist by
Oh,
education and initial career. So I call this my midlife career of passion. I
wow.
wanted to move into something that was supporting specifically seniors and their families after losing my father-in-law.
Okay. Well, and I'm sorry to hear about your father-in-law. And that was kind of leading me into my next question. So, why did you decide to join Right at Home and choose that particular franchise?
Yeah. So when I was first starting my career as a scientist, I found soon into that career that you didn't always feel like you were connected to the people that you were helping. So I was at the bench, but didn't get to see what the impacts were downstream. And so I'd always decided to have kind of a midlife career change. And I wanted that to be focused on something where I had direct connection with people and could see the impact that I was having. So I thought about, moving into sales and marketing in my science career. I thought about teaching. I thought about nonprofit work. And then in 2005, my father-in-law passed away, and my husband and I were his only family. And it was just a very lonely process. And so when we came out of the fog of that grief, I decided that whatever I wanted that middle stage of my career to be focused on, I wanted it to be focused on seniors and their families. And so when that biological job clock started ticking, I did a search and I found, for specifically senior support services, and this type of business came up. And it immediately spoke to my soul because I grew up here in the Madison area, very close with my family, a large family. We're still very connected. I have a lot of family that works in the medical field. So that caregiving aspect immediately spoke to my soul, and I decided that's what I was going to do. I actually investigated, I found a list of Forbes top 10 franchises for home care businesses because I did want the support of a franchise in starting a new field. And I called all 10, and Right at Home in my search was the most authentic, responsive, and they really cared about who they had owning franchises and how that care was delivered.
Perfect. And when you were talking about why you joined the system, you gave me goosebumps. So I think that is, one of the things that really connects us all is that mission, to improve the quality of lives for those we serve. And
Yes.
unfortunately, a lot of times it's going through that painful experience, to sit there and say, you know what, I want to do something to make a meaningful difference instead of just managing a widget.
Correct.
Uh, so tell me a little bit about, what does your typical day look like now? And then if you can even go further back, because I'm sure it was different 9 years ago when you got started, what did your typical day look like then?
So I will say then it was sometimes very chaotic. Starting a business can be hard. And there were times where I literally was sleeping in my car in between visits or, working 12, 14, 16-hour days to keep it going.
Mhm.
Initially, the trickiest part is always that balance of clients and caregivers. So you're trying to hire caregivers, but you don't have clients to staff them with, or you get clients and then you don't have the caregivers to staff them with. So to get our business running in the early days, we did a lot of jumping into the field. And when you start off, you have a small office team. It was just me plus an office manager. So we were jumping into the field a lot just to get the business up and off of the ground. And, I think we learned through that process that it can really burn you out. So
Mhm.
I made since then a lot of changes to make sure, one, that we deliver high quality care. This is where I grew up, the place I'm born and raised in this community, and the reputation of Right at Home means a lot to me personally. So I make sure that in delivering care, we're delivering the highest quality of care that we can, not only to our clients, but also to our caregivers. So that is our number one priority in everything we do. Some of the things that we do as an office are called No Stranger at Your Door, where we do a personal introduction anytime a new caregiver and client are meeting, or a caregiver and client are meeting for the first time. So that's something that we have to balance out. But the day-to-day now focuses on those operations. So I have a great team with me that helps me operate. You know, I call myself not a sales or marketer, but I'm involved in the community. So I'm the community representative, the community service representative. So I try to stay involved in different things in the community to keep us out in the public and making good connections in, for instance, the Alzheimer's and dementia world, working closely with senior centers and our ADRC, and the aging community at large is where I spend a lot of my time beyond just, kind of monitoring the day-to-day operations. I'm fortunate enough now that I can step back enough. I have a great office manager, scheduler, and care coordinator, so they manage a lot of the day-to-day, and I just kind of make sure things are flowing. And for all of us, I really have learned to focus on work-life balance. So there's different things that we do. We share responsibilities on nights and weekends as needed. I actually have a half-day Friday, we call it, where on Fridays or any day of the week you really choose, you get a 4-hour comp time that you can take. And so a lot of those things have helped my office team keep balance.
Awesome. I love. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, thinking about like all the different types of support Right at Home offers, what do you feel like is the most valuable to you personally?
I think the support is innumerable, and I probably don't use it as much as I could. I know they have an amazing library and all those resources. It's not always the easiest to find things, but the information there is almost endless. The Polsinelli POSH system, again, great legal support that you would normally have to pay a lot of money for. I also find that whenever I need to reach out to corporate for something, they are very responsive, so that is extra valuable as well. I feel like if you have a question, it's answered, or they send you to the person who can answer it. And I think that, again, I underutilize those services, so I can't even tell. I mean, I feel like the quality of corporate and what the franchise provides is priceless at the end of the day.
Perfect. And then thinking about candidates going through the discovery process, which you did at one point, what's a piece of advice that you would offer to somebody who's trying to decide, hey, is this the right business for them or their family?
Yeah, so I think one, you have to be willing to dedicate time. So this is at the end of the day a 24/7, 365 business, likely. You will have clients that need care around the clock and every day of the year, and you need to figure out if you can commit to that. Now, I think if you go in with that mindset, but knowing that you're going to build up a strong team to support you, I think that's where you will be most successful. And I think the key to that right off the bat, which I don't think I did as well as I could have, was hiring high quality office staff. So, and then focusing on procedures and policies and making sure those things are in place and clear. I think those would be the best ways to be successful. Making sure you have a team that's committed and motivated to get things done. I tend to be the entrepreneurial mindset, so I come up with lots of ideas. I think where I've been most successful in the office team is having an executive as my manager who kind of checks the boxes and gets things done that way. So having, somebody to come up with the ideas, probably you as the business owner, and then getting somebody else that's there to make sure those things get done in an organized, efficient way.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Anna, this has been so helpful. I've absolutely loved connecting with you today. I know this is going to really support our franchise owners. We at corporate, we appreciate all that you and your team do every single day and just the countless lives that you touch.
Well, thank you, Jessica. I've appreciated this time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.